Well, thank you so much, Dean Feldman, for that incredible introduction. Good morning, everyone. I would like to once again welcome and thank all of the faculty, staff, trustees, and students, new and old, for being here today. I would also like to especially thank all of the students who have given me the support necessary for me to be here, and all of those whose words and conversation have shaped what I say now. Pomona, like any college, is an institution of learning, but it is more importantly a community of learning. One of my predecessors, Darrell Jones III, discussed in his welcome speech the concept of horizontal learning. That is, the kind of learning that takes place between peers, outside of the classroom. Horizontal learning is critically important, but to me, the most important kind of learning is the kind of learning that occurs on this campus and can be categorized even more broadly. To me, what is most valuable is communal learning. And this learning encompasses the crucial horizontal learning, but goes a step farther. Communal learning, and of course communal teaching, are not necessarily just between peers, but can be the result of conversations with faculty, staff, and any members of the Pomona community. Communal learning is a type of learning that is focused on validating the experiences of the individual and how that individual is situated within the collective. Communal learning is the type of learning that cares about its participants, that asks how a person is and means it. Communal learning is concerned with mentoring and lifting up the learner. And like horizontal learning, it has a constant shifting of teacher and student. It can occur outside of the classroom, but also inside of it. It could occur in a class that is bridging theory and praxis, or in a class teaching about the history that so often goes unmentioned. It occurs at 3 a.m. in the morning on the porch of a Lowry suite with individuals discussing the depths of their identity. It can even occur in a mentor session when students share that they are mentoring because of how much they struggled in the class last year and are now teaching strategies of understanding the material. One of the instances that I have felt the benefit of communal learning was during the welcome speech of my predecessor, Rachel Jackson. She discussed the value of names and mentioned that she was given a name that works in both languages that her parents speak. This was a large revelation in my life, because even though I had had many conversations about the mixed race experience, I had never before heard someone named in a similar manner. It was a particularly validating message and taught me that experiences do not occur in a vacuum. My name is situated inside a vast history of naming children so as to allow them easier passage into a new society, while also linking them to traditions and values that may not be recognized by the majority. This type of learning is so crucial, not only because of the extraordinary value that it has for an individual, but also because it creates a community. The Pomona community that I so cherish is based upon this type of learning. The multitude of smaller communities on campus steep their teachings with this mentality, whether it is the multi-ethnic and racial group exchange or the Plazo One Back sponsor group, the Disability Illness and Difference Alliance, or the Microtheory mentor sessions, the Chicano Latino Student Affairs mentor group, or the Clark 5 courtyard after a long week. These communities can be created by this kind of learning because, at its essence, at its very most basic, it is really only a consistent sense of empathy, an emphasis on actively listening and actually hearing, and of support for the individual. But the state of all of the communal learning here that is necessary to form and shape the Pomona community as a whole is constantly in a state of flux. It is an imperfect communal learning because too often some are listened to without being heard. Sometimes words are spoken to those who do not imbue their response with a sense of empathy. Often there are communities on campus that do not give each other enough support, that do not show up for one another. Some of these communities need to be supported through a greater commitment to empathy on the part of those in the larger community. And sometimes communities that are very used to having their voices consistently heard need to be doing more hearing themselves. And so I ask all of you today, all of you in this room right now, and those that will take a moment to watch this when I post it on Facebook, Whether you are a faculty or staff member, a trustee, a returning student, and especially if you are a new student, consider how you create the Pomona College community. Consider what kind of community you want to participate in. Because you are all a part of it, this Pomona College community, but you can choose whether you build through the empathy, listening, and support of a communal learner, or whether you will ignore the plight of those around you. I ask you all to take the time to reach out to the groups you do not belong to and ask what they need so that they can feel as though they are actually a part of the larger community. We as one must come together to constantly learn and unlearn from those around us. And we must put more effort into listening to those voices not usually heard. I call on all of you now to constantly ask yourself how you're creating this greater community, and be conscious of the fact that by not listening to every voice on campus, you are telling certain voices that they should not be speaking. We, as one community, need to come together to know what has come before us, know where we are today, and decide upon how we achieve a complete Pomona community. This year, we have an incredible opportunity to do this. And so, to all of my community, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. Thank you very much.